Hello and welcome back to our podcast, now with better audio.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Luke, and welcome back to Let's Talk Business. Today we're talking about, is Disney taking over the animation business? Let's find out.
It certainly seems like they are. I mean, what is the best movie that's come from a non-Disney producer in this last few years?
How about the Minions Despicable Me 3?
I mean, really, there hasn't been many. You can name a few in the animation industry, but there's really not that many.
Let's start off by saying what Walt Disney Company does not own. So they do not own DreamWorks,
They don't own Warner Brothers.
DC Universe,
Disney doesn't own Universal Studios. I think that's really just about it. I mean, they own Marvel.
20, they don't own 20th Century Fox.
But they do own
They
Marvel.
They do not own Warner Bros.
I think we said that.
Did we say that? I don't know. Okay, sorry guys. All right, what do they own? Jacob's gonna tell us.
Marvel, Lucasfilms, and of course Pixar, and Disney's own animating industry. So they own a lot of things. So Marvel into Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that was Disney. A lot of things have been Disney.
So, with that being said, is Disney technically a monopoly? Because according to the definition of a monopoly, in not the game Monopoly, but a monopoly in the industry for business, is that you buy out your competitors. Pixar was a group of people who worked for Disney that separated from Disney and created their own company, Pixar. And Disney's like, oh, hey, yo, you can't do that. And they bought Pixar, and it became a part of Disney. So it's buying out its competitors, and that's why there are so few competitors for Disney.
It bought Marvel Studios and it bought Lucasfilms, which have some of the most successful movies ever, in my opinion. The Avengers movies, the recent ones, box office hits.
Problem with Star Wars, though, Disney wrecked 7 and 8 Star Wars.
Oh, Disney destroyed Star Wars. They ruined it.
Yeah, it's bad. Just don't watch it. Just don't. It's bad. Just don't.
I mean, it's a decent movie, but it's not up to the Star Wars. Like, it's not as good as a Star Wars movie.
It's not what George Lucas intended it to be.
Nope.
And I'm pretty sure when George Lucas watched it, he cried. Because oh boy, that was messed up. And it was bad.
So on to a slightly different topic. Let's talk about the stocks for a second.
You can buy one stock of DreamWorks Studios for $41.18. Mind you, we're saying this, the Dow is down today by
A lot.
Yeah, it's down by, let's see here. Opening our computer here for a second. Let's find out how much it's down by. The Dow is down by 76.42%, which in equivalence to 0.33%.
So that's huge. That's pretty big. It's down by quite a lot. And even Disney's stock is down currently, down to $108.12.
That's after hours, but right now, that's with the Dow currently. Right now, it's currently at 107 for Disney, and as I said, DreamWorks is at 42.8. So when this is being recorded, at least that's what it's at.
Although stocks are always changing, so
Stocks, they never stay the same. So, and the real question is, do you invest in DreamWorks or do you invest in Disney? Fun fact about Disney, they just released a 100-year bond, and all of the spots have been purchased. So Disney is not going out anytime soon.
I say if you can, invest in Disney because the stocks are low right now and they could get a lot higher. But DreamWorks, I mean, $41 per share. I say you invest in DreamWorks. They say release a movie, and then their stocks could potentially go up. So.
But same with Disney, though.
Same with Disney. So I would invest in the movie industry because it's very large and there's a lot of support behind it.
So what do you think about the idea of Disney being a monopoly?
Disney being a monopoly, they have bought out some of their competitors, but I think it would be a true monopoly once they buy out like Universal and DreamWorks and 21st Century Fox and all of this other stuff. 20th Century Fox.
Now let's just say Disney bought out Universal Studios. Does that now mean that Universal Studios is now a Disney park?
I believe it would still be the Universal Studios Park if they wouldn't call it Disney. They might call it the Disney Park at Universal Studios potentially, but I don't think that it would be. It would be owned by Disney, but I don't think it would be a Disney park.
Honestly, I don't think Disney has enough funds right now to go after Universal. But there are much smaller Warner Bros. And that Disney could go after.
I say if Disney can potentially purchase one of these companies that is making movies, that could give them funds, and eventually it would be very good for their business to buy out Universal Studios.
Yet they're putting millions of dollars into rides.
Especially at like Epcot and Animal Kingdom, where there's not much space. With all these rides that they're putting in, they're spending a lot of money on these rides. Some of the new rides using all the virtual reality and stuff, I mean, there's putting like millions into it. And they could be putting that into the effects and animations in movies.
Not to mention the people they have to hire to design these things.
Design them, build them, of course, and also test them. So
people don't die. We would like to in the future have more variety on this channel, more separate series for separate things. So there's going to be Let's Talk Business, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but uploaded to the Food for Thought channel was a gaming podcast made by yours truly,
me. So check that out if you haven't already.
It's a great video, and it will be in the description of this video. Also, we would like to bring in more series, so if you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments.
Yes, please.
Now back to our topic.
So, again, on these rides, do you really think that they should be putting this money into these rides?
Is it necessary? I think they have enough rides. I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, and really, if you want to ride rides, then typically you would go to Magic Kingdom. And Animal Kingdom is mainly to admire nature and animals, and Epcot to visit the countries. That was the main point of Epcot, like the different country areas, so.
Well, now I'm going to try and bring it back here to animation. Pixar, DreamWorks, and Universal Studios are your main animators.
And then you have Warner, who does the occasional animation, and 20th Century Fox.
And these are not so big. But these are companies that Disney's going to have to go after if they want to have a full monopoly in the business. But yet the Sherman Antitrust Act was passed in the late 1880s. Don't fact check me. I'll have someone fact check me later. But the Sherman Antitrust Act said that it breaks monopolies, so it would be impossible for that to happen. And because of the free enterprise system, any business and any person could start any business. Therefore, meaning someone else could start another company that would run against Disney. For all we know, there could be one in the making right now as we speak.
Very true. And I think that some of the very rich entrepreneurs say, hey, there's only really one company doing this. We could do this. Like, say Jeff Bezos, we've talked about him before. So
Amazon Prime has movies now.
Yeah, Amazon is making their own stuff. So you could say that Amazon is trying to dabble in this.
And not to mention Netflix.
Hulu.
Netflix makes their own movies as well.
So does Hulu.
So these streaming companies that you thought were just streaming movies, no, they make Netflix originals, Hulu originals.
And they're also, I think...
They're actually pretty good.
And Netflix has some movies. Stranger Things is a Netflix original, and it's one of the hit shows of 2017.
Fuller House. is also a Netflix original. Also, I know the Christmas season just passed, but if you have kids in your household, the Christmas Chronicles.
It's a good movie.
It's a really good movie, 100% Netflix original.
I would actually recommend watching it. I've seen it a few times, and it's really good.
So once again, there are these people who are coming up onto Disney and being like, yo, look, you can't just control this. So we're going to have X more businesses doing this, which is great to see that Disney will not be at the top forever.
I mean, I feel like Disney, they are controlling this market, but there are many other companies who are rising. Many other companies that are rising to this level.
One of the main selling points, and I don't know if you heard me, but I said Hidden Mickey. The minute you see the iconic 2 circles and a bigger circle, you immediately think of
What?
Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yes, Mickey Mouse. Sorry, I had a brain fart for a second.
Yes, you immediately think of Mickey Mouse. And that is one of their selling points. My friend in school has a water bottle that has a Walt Disney character on it, and it says Disney, and it's like the minute you see that word, you immediately think of all, Daffy Duck, Goofy.
All these characters that they've had forever.
Not to mention the Incredibles.
The Incredibles. There's so many Disney Pixar characters that are iconic now, that maybe have been iconic for centuries.
I'm going to bring in something else to this. I don't know if you know about the Pixar theory, that everything in the Pixar universe is connected.
I mean, it seems very likely because
It seems like it's actually a true thing, and I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, think of all the Easter eggs they put in their movies.
So I know. I mean, I'm not quite sure. I don't remember what it was, but there was a poster of another character from a different movie in one of the Pixar movies.
There's the giant, the iconic yellow bouncy ball with the red star and the blue stripe.
And it's made multiple appearances in multiple different things.
So Disney has a lot of Easter eggs and merch advertising, and that's helping them make sure that they stay on top. And I mean, I'm okay if they stay on top, but I would like to see other companies make some better films.
Make some ground, yes.
I mean, Star Wars. Okay, that was a disaster. We already mentioned that once in the podcast. It was a disaster.
Disney with their Marvel movies, I think that's one of their main points recently. Is when they bought the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That was one of their best things ever, because that revenue from some of the movies in like Black Panther, Thor, Avengers: Infinity War, they were some of the biggest movies of all time, and like Black Panther, it was huge in its box office revenue, but it wasn't supposed to be. It was just supposed to be a supporting film. It was never supposed to happen technically.
As we're entering a new year, 2019, now's the time to really think about business.
Yeah, really.
And what you want to invest in. And for the kids, you really can't invest until you're a little older, but think about what you want to invest in. Disney is a solid foundation. We're not trying to knock against good Disney, because it's a great studio.
Disney's a great company.
It's a great company, just like Walt Disney intended it to be. But I mean, what we've talked about are some serious points that could be affected in the future, and I think it'd be really nice to see some underdogs come up and see these underdogs maybe make a good film, because currently the underdogs are making some bad films.
Yeah, and so is Disney. I mean,
but the funny thing is, Disney can get away with it.
Yeah, Disney can get away with it. They're rich.
They have so much money. If it doesn't look right, they just say, "Yeah, make it again."
Yeah, I mean,
and
talk about the Hulk movies. It wasn't that good. So they've just decided to put Hulk in just different movies in the Marvel Universe. So they didn't like the way the Hulk was. They actually changed the Hulk's actor in the Marvel movies.
Yeah, so as you can see, a lot's changed with Disney. And this podcast has kind of been all over the place, but it's mainly stuck to one point.
Yeah, it's mainly stuck to Disney and the animation industry.
So we hope that you have a very happy new year and that we can see you again next year.
Next year.
This is a joke that all teachers play on us at school, and you won't have a test till next year, and we all get really excited, and they go, yeah, that's in a few weeks, and you're like, ah. So we'll see you next Sunday with a brand new segment.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Luke, and this was Food for Thought.
See ya.
Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
And more importantly, share. See ya.
Yeah.